Hello and welcome to the Weekly Troll Podcast. My name is Ryan.
And I'm Elvira. You were ready for a different one.
I was ready for a different one, yeah. And today we're looking at Weird Heroes of Public Access from Joey Royale, a tabletop role-playing game that lets you and your friends step into the shoes of quirky public access TV personalities, battling monsters, angry moms, and juvenile delinquents to save your beloved town of Fairhaven. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. First time we got to hear that today.
Yeah,
So,
we did it.
But before that, how's it going, buddy?
Oh, it's going fine. We're packing up. As you can see, I no longer have bookshelves behind me. We're packing up to move. And we're waiting for the apartment complex to come inspect our place because they have to do that before they let us transfer to a smaller unit because we're getting a smaller unit. And school starts next week, so I'm feeling not overwhelmed at all.
Well, good. I mean, it's great that everything is going swimmingly.
Totally,
I mean,
super fine. How are
not a
you?
problem. Just peachy fucking keen, right? We talked about this a little bit before stream started. The city decided to inspect my apartment. I guess there's some legislation they passed that lets them inspect like 10% of all apartments in the city to make sure there's no like slumlord situations or whatever. Which like I'm torn on the legality of the city just being able to come into my apartment. But they literally just walked in. I thought they were going to do like a thorough top to bottom thing. So I've talked a lot about the stacks and stacks and stacks and stacks of books that were like sitting in my living room yet to be put on the shelves behind me. So I took the time and actually did that because that's the only time things actually get done. And then they literally just like knocked on my door and then just asked me questions. Like, does your hot water work? I was like, yeah. And then it was just shit like that. Like, do your lights work? I was like, yes, they do. And they're like, cool. All right, thanks. Bye. And I was like, that's bad. The only reason they needed to come in was to look at the hot water heater, literally glance at it, I guess, just make sure I had one, and to open the fuse box.
What's interesting about that is that means that they are having a problem with slumlords where you live. You know?
Yeah, in the city that shall not be named that I live, I'm
Yeah.
not shocked.
Oh, really? You're not?
Are you being sarcastic or not?
I really don't. I don't know anything about where you live, so.
Oh, here, let me message you the nickname of my city.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm not surprised. I don't necessarily think there's like slum lords, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's just a lot of people that probably live um grossly.
Yeah.
So but what that means, I guess, is good that the city will come in and I guess fix that. Hopefully anyone that needs help will get the help that they need. I live in a pretty red area though, so I wouldn't be surprised if they literally just Gavin Newsom and just took all their shit and kicked them out of where they're living, But it is what it is. They just did a little. So regardless, my apartment's cleaner than it's ever been, more organized than it's ever been. I got rid of 4 bags of clothes from my closet and actually put all of my books from the living room on the shelves. There's probably like 15 piles of books. So that's what I did. I actually got organized, which is cool.
That sounds awesome.
But I mean, moving is going to give you guys an opportunity to kind of like get rid of things you don't need and consolidate and reorganize, right?
Yeah, we are having very similar things going on in our lives right now, So,
well, I mean,
good.
The only reason I'm still in this apartment is literally I just don't want to move. I feel like I just got here and it's been like 3 years.
Yeah, I also don't want to move, but we have that 3rd bedroom and we don't want to pay for it. So
yeah. But it's good to downsize. It's not like rent's gonna get lower anytime soon.
That's true. It's not.
Yeah.
In fact, it's only gonna get higher.
Yeah, because that is the hellscape in which we currently live, which is
pretty cool.
Dope. It's so sweet. But yeah, so that's what's going on in our lives. Also, we haven't had a lot of episodes, but we are towards the end of what they're calling the Summer Boss Show in September. It is getting spicy here at the end. My boy Ura is only 1 win away from double digits, which is great. Rocking my Ura Magic shirt. Shout out Toki in the Discord. for sending me the link to this one. This shirt is actually hand carved and by somebody, and then like hand printed and stuff.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
really?
like support your small businesses. Yeah, I love this one. And but Hosh just lost 2 in a row. Now Onosato's at the top, so it's gonna get spicy here at the end. If they win out and then Hosh and Onosato battle on the last day and Hosh wins, it would put them into a tiebreaker, and then they'd immediately have to battle again for a tie. So at this point, that's what I'm hoping for, is back-to-back Yokozuna matches on day 15 to decide which Yokozuna wins the Basho. Sumo.
Hell yeah. Sumo.
Fucks. I'm definitely gonna go to Japan at some point in the next year or two to catch one of the Bashos. But anyway, we did good time on that. That was even lower. That's not even the 10 minutes that we started with, because we did it twice.
Another thing. I've been playing a new video game.
Oh shit! What have you been playing?
It's called Hell Is Us.
Oh,
It is
a
an
real life
indie
simulator.
game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Actually, you're returning to a war-torn country during a genocide, and a calamity of like monsters has appeared, and it's like an investigatory game. There's no map markers. There's no like quest points or anything. You just have a journal that updates pretty well, but you still pretty much have to take physical notes as well. And you're like gathering information and like solving puzzles and figuring out what's going on. It's been very satisfying to play. So
Looks kind of dope. It looks pretty dope.
yeah.
Then the last thing that I did recently is I got an airbrush. So I'm gonna start learning how to airbrush my minis for.
You're making those like big airbrush T-shirts of like Bugs Bunny and shit.
Yeah. So I can, yeah. And like R.I.P. You know, people and stuff on that. No, a lot of the grime effects I want to do are gonna go on a little like better with an airbrush than just like glopping them on. So I said fuck it, and I found like a decent one with just like a handheld compressor that puts out enough PSI to kind of just do what I want to do and not get too fancy. So I know Andy airbrushes. We're gonna hobby night tonight and just chat about that a little bit, and I'll start batch painting like the 80 dudes I need to do for my Night Lords Horus Heresy army.
Hell yeah.
But excited for that. My list got done. My list is done. Just got to start actually putting them together. So that's it. That's us. Let's get into the actual game at this point. I'll pop over to the cover. I'll throw the cover up real quick while I go over the zoom to page level. Look at that cover.
It's a great cover.
It's a great cover. So the original zine actually looks like this. It was just a pink zine that kind of just looks like the ad for a local news station, which obviously it is 13 WHPA Fairhaven. Get Haunted Industries. But the cover art for this one, love the interior spreads here. But it is Hayden Hall did the cover art. Brian Shutter did the layout for it. Yeah, it's dope. It's a bunch of different TV personalities. You got a guy working out. You got a vampire guy, you got a preacher guy, then you got a guy with a like a dummy.
With the ventriloquist dummy, yeah. Your classic
dummy.
Your classic public access kind of cliches, you know? Yeah. You get the vampire guy doing the old monster movies, you know?
Yeah. And then you got like the poltergeist.
Like in Fright Night.
Yeah. Then you got that poltergeist TV at the bottom bleeding. But it's very muted colors. It's got that like weird kind of like 80s rainbow of colors like on there, and it's all that like muted brown. It's pretty dope. I like it. It sets a vibe immediately. So what is Weird Heroes? Here's the info for Weird Heroes of Public Access. Weird Heroes of Public Access originally came out as part of, so these are, I've now named the era, the post-COVID indie boom. It came out as part of the post-COVID indie game boom in 2021 as a 20-page zine, which is a pink one I held up already. It was followed up by a number of supplements, including the 24-page Station Manager's Guide in 2023. A new edition crowdfunded on BackerKit in October of 2024 and funded November 1st, 2024, with 587 backers for $30,396 on a $4,000 goal. This new 110-page hardback edition, the one I'm holding up right now, we looked at already, and what's on the screen, combined the Weird Heroes of Public Access game rules, Station Manager's Guide, and selections from the supplements Tales from Fairhaven Volume 1 and 2, as well as a bunch of new content. You can find We're Heroes of public access at Exalted Funeral, Goodman Games, and digitally on Drive-Thru RPG. That is the info for the game.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. What we got time. This is gonna be a quick one. What's your one sentence? I know I do that and then we say like 5, but what's your quick hot take before we get going?
This is a weird, good little game, you know? I like how odd it is. The book itself is like also just kind of a fever dream to go through, you know? But yeah, I like it. It's good.
Yeah, it's dope. I like it too. We'll get into more of that in our likes and dislikes. So let me zoom back down to page level of fit with you, motherfucker. There it goes. Yeah. So like I said, the book, we'll get into layout a little bit more. The book really is just a bunch of these zines. Oh, let me show up the collection I've got. I like this game a lot. I'll just straight up say I'm a big fan. And anyone that knows me knows that when I'm a fan of something, I kind of have to have all of it, right?
Gotta have everything.
So I'm close. There's a couple things I don't have. I'm missing Tales from Fairhaven Volume 1 and the Station Manager's Guide, and probably a couple other little things. But other than that, I did decide to try to go. I didn't have to try. I went a little nutty and got all of these.
Wow. Really impressive.
It out even more. Yeah. And then I got the GM screen as well. And then I also have a patch, a dice set that has like the 13 logo on it.
Nice.
A drink koozie, a fat stack of stickers, Joey Royale, like sexy photo.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. And then a pamphlet for Battle of the Bog Beasts. But yeah, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 zines, plus everything else I just said. So I like it, and each one is weirder than the last, and I'm a big fan. We'll get into why a little bit later. I have, shockingly, opinions.
Hell yeah.
About why this is good and so many things are bad. But getting back into game review, let's get into what the fuck this is. The rules breakdown. I've gone a little long in this part recently with some of the games, so we're going to try to tighten this one up, which won't be hard because this game is very brief.
Yeah, it is very brief. There's a lot of stuff in the back half of this game that I think is like really interesting, but like the actual rules portion of the game is really only like 9 pages or something.
Yeah, well, again, the original game was just a 21-page zine, and some of that is like the stuff in the beginning, the stuff on the end. So at the end of the day, like the original zine only had like fucking like 15 pages.
13-ish pages. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, and really, again, all they did for this book was take the original stuff and put it in there. Which when we get into layout and stuff, we'll talk about that a little bit more. But what is this game? Guess what? It's a dice pool game. 2025 for us is the year of the fucking dice pool, because I think
a lot of dice pool games. I'm okay with it. I love a dice pool game.
Yeah.
I talked about loving a dice pool game a couple of years ago, and then this year we've been running through just dice pools all around.
Yeah. Well, I mean, D6 is the best dice.
It is.
D20
obviously
is the most overrated fucking dice in history.
It's fine.
It's fine, exactly. It's fine. But most dice pools are D6s, and it's probably my second or third favorite kind of like core mechanism. I like 2d6 levels of success. But after that, I love a good dice pool, man. There's just a lot of stuff you can do with it. So basically, what is this game? It's a dice pool game where public access hosts battle the occult and the paranormal to save their little town of Fairhaven, like I said in the beginning. And every part of the game all the way through really just feeds into that, even from the original. Like, this is not for everyone. This is for you. Lights, camera, technical difficulties, action. I love that. That one really tickled me. But as you go through the entire book, it's a mix of the rule stuff mixed in with advertisements for the game, or advertisements in world. It's very, I love when books do this, where it's like a rule book, but it's filled with a bunch of diegetic stuff. So like, it's not. I like that kind of mix
Yeah.
where it's, if it's purely diegetic, it can be a little bit too much, and excuse me, very difficult to maintain. But throwing in a little bit of stuff like this, like Fridays at 10 a.m. Crystal Balls, Crystal Ball, the weekly reading. And it's got like a guy in like a luchador mask, Crystal Ball. So cracks me the fuck up. So, and then there's the
So
station
dumb.
manager and everything. Yeah, it's so dumb. I love it. It's so fucking dumb, and I love it so much. This game tickled me to no end. There's the station manager is Rev Joey Royale. It has a little note here in the beginning. So I just said what the gist of the game is. Dice pool game. So how does it work? It is a dice pool game. And I love the broadcasting guidelines here in the beginning. Literally, just give you the entire thing. The layout, again, we'll get into the layout of the book a little bit later. But so how does this work? So when an action requires it, the host will ask for a skill check. And how do the skill checks work? You will pick a core skill of which you have 4. Mind, mouth, body, and soul. You know what that mouth do?
Yeah, the 4 pieces of a person,
Yeah. And then I literally wrote there are 3 core skills, and there's literally 4. My notes are incorrect. Let me correct my notes. But and then you will roll a d6 at base, plus additional d6 for each point in the core skill. So if you have 3 points in mind, right, you'll roll a d6 plus the 3 6s that you get for having 3 points in mind, right? A result of 5 or 6 is a success, and that's the core of the game, and it's super easy, and I like it. It is the most basic way you can pretty much do a dice pool game, right? If the host rolls all 1s, their hope score is reduced by 1. We'll talk about hope a little bit later. If they roll all 6s, you get a supernatural point, which can be used anytime, which allows you to unlock a supernatural ability, which is minor and fleeting, but really fucking cool that some random public access host can just like read your mind for a second.
It has telekinesis,
Yeah, really, really neat. Well, the telekinesis is a whole thing that we can get into. But one of the things I really like is the for the ref part here. It says consider successes as what the host wants. And if a host fails a roll, consider what the story needs to maintain engagement and excitement. I love that mindset for the game where it's like failure isn't necessarily the players failing at what they want to do. It's more success lets them do what they wanted to do, which kind of guides the story in a certain way, and failure lets the ref guide the story in a different way, which I think is really, really interesting.
Yeah, it's a good mentality to hold on to,
Yeah, I like that a lot. You don't have to necessarily try to come up with the way they fail, as opposed to try to come up with something cool that is different than what they wanted, which I think is really fucking neat. The next section is the Become a Host section, which Hunter will go over to in a little bit, but I'm going to bounce forward a little bit to talk about some more of the game rule stuff on page 11, which is leveling up. I literally wrote, just look at page 11, because any breakdown of it was as long as just looking at it. Leveling up, I think, is new to this version. I do not believe it's in the original one. The first 11 of the first 13 pages are exactly the same, and I think this is a different one. So, holy cow, you and your pal say Fairhaven again. You learn stuff, right? So when you complete an adventure, you increase max hope by points. You increase max hope points by 1. Again, Hunter will go over hope a little bit more. You add a point to any one skill. You put $20 in your wallet. You increase the pizzazz of your supernatural ability by just a smidge, and you enjoy a nice meal with friends. That's it. I love that. We'll go over the supernatural. Are you going to cover supernatural abilities?
I have a short note on it. I didn't deep dive it, but
yeah, we
I
don't need. I mean, there's not a lot
Yeah.
for it, but we'll deep dive. But I like the idea when you do the supernatural ability. It's not really super defined. It doesn't say you have an area that you can do this. It's just kind of you have a minor ability. I like that the level up is make that minor ability just a little cooler, and that's about as much direction as you get.
Smidge,
Yeah, just a smidge. Just increase the pizzazz, just a smidge. And then the other part of the rules is just combat, basically. So when you do combat, The host and ref roll d6s, and then you act in descending order, which I love. I think that's a cool way to do it. Attacks are just body checks, and then on a success you roll 1d6. So you know, the host or the ref will roll for the bad guys, you'll roll for the good guys, and whoever wins, it's the same mechanic both ways. On a 1 to 4, you subtract 1 hope from the opponent. On a 5 to 6, you subtract 2 hope from the opponent. Hope points are basically HP, which is probably why they're called hope points. And it's just HP, not hit protection. And they start at 6. And then there's a whole section for psi powers. I'm not going to deep dive it. It is the zine that I held up a little bit ago. It's the one that's literally called Looking for the Magic, Psi Enhancement Exercises for Weird Heroes of Public Access TV 13 employees. It's a whole zine, but they stick the entire zine basically in here. And we were joking about this a little bit before. Well, this is also one of my favorite pages. Do not trust the Fairhaven Police Department. It basically says the only thing they protect and serve is the charade of normalcy. The force is inherently corrupt and easily manipulated by shadowy powers. Damn.
Right, kids, don't trust the police.
Yeah. This is an ACAB podcast for sure. What was I bouncing to? Psi powers. I even wrote page numbers on my notes so I could scroll to it because there is no table of contents. Just you'll hear about more about that later. We'll do a little quick flip through the book at one point, just to show some of the weirdo stuff. But yeah, looking for magic. They even just put like literally the cover just in here. But the way that the psi powers work is there are 5 meditations, which is basically like just 5 steps to get to the magic, to get to the psi ability, right? But the first bunch before you get to the rules are like real world things you have to do to unlock the powers, which is so fun and so cool. So there's a whole like stop, warning, read this, basically like, these manifestations can fuck shit up, and you have to sign and date it, which I love. But basically there are like the classic kind of deck of symbols for people trying to figure out like if they can read people's minds, circles and wavy lines and pluses. And you literally have to, for the first couple of meditations, basically like try to guess and read the minds of these cards.
You sit in a dark room with the lights off and try to guess the cards, and you mark how many you get correct. It's a pretty fun, like, real world thing that you're doing for this game.
Yeah, and whether you're doing that with other people or like, I would be so invested in just being like, oh, like this is how you can RP by yourself, right?
Yeah,
like, yeah. I would literally sit in a dark room by myself in a corner and just be like, oh, I got it, like. So, and then once you guess enough right, you get to pick the abilities that you have, and then as you work your way through the meditations, you choose a focus item, which is literally like from
a
your
thing in your
space.
Room you can hold in your hand.
Yeah. You pick a phrase to recite to channel your psi energy, which I believe it's literally like pick up a book and
you
like
pick a book. Yep.
Yeah.
And read it. And like it's not random. Nothing is random. Once you understand synchronicity, you realize there is no randomness. I'm just like, this is fucking great.
It's so good. And then at the end, the last couple of meditations of the 5 are actually like kind of the rules of the game. It gives you the rules to using sub-powers and the risks of static manifestations and psychic catastrophe for actually using the abilities. And they have like, these disaster photos from like Scary Mary Cloggin's Unfocused Pyrokinesis, Rage Blast, level 3. And it's just this disaster. It's so fucking funny. But like I said, like meditation 1, you literally cut out the cards and do a whole thing. So it's great. We're not going to go over the entire thing. Buy the zine, buy the book. But it's hysterical. And again, I love the mix of like diegesis and like meta in this game. It's one of the things I love the most about it. And they do, and the psi one really, really kind of encapsulates that a lot. I also love the psi zap, which is literally just like sticking your tongue on a fucking like 9-volt battery. And that can like recharge your burnt out hope points. If you literally zap your fucking tongue with a battery, you get to roll 3d6 and recharge your hope points. It cracks me the fuck up. There's even a soundtrack for meditation. this is like a Spotify thing. Can you scan those? Like I tried to like barcode scan it with my phone or
I don't
something.
think you can. I don't think
I
there's
feel
like a. I don't know.
I feel
Let's
like there was
see.
something at some point. But there is a whole playlist here to listen to while you're doing your meditations, which I think is really funny. But
Oh
that's
yeah. Hey, maybe there is actually. What
my
page is
phone's
that on
weird.
again?
39. My phone's weird about scanning stuff. Like I can never scan anyone's Venmo, uh, UPC code, or QR code. Literally ever. My phone won't. Um, so I have to use a different app that will scan it.
Holy
Turn it
shit!
into
Yeah, that code totally works. If you go to Spotify and go to search, there's a camera button. I've never used them. So you click that and it scans it. But yeah, it totally works.
Sick. That's how it
That's
is.
so
It
funny,
won't just do
dude.
it through your camera. You got to do it through Spotify. Sick. Yeah. So you can actually get the Spotify link to the meditations playlist. So yeah, that's cool. So that's basically how the game works. Like I said, it's dice pool. You roll dice equal to your core skills. And then it's like the most simple dice pool game ever, but it's more than enough than you need for this game. And I think all the vibes are way more the focus than that. So big fan. So talk to us about character generation.
Yeah, so your character's called a host. You're the host of a show on this public access network. And there are 7 steps. Well, I don't know. If they're not numbered, I counted quickly and forgot. So hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9. I knew what I was doing. Yeah. So the first step of you creating your host for your public access show is determine your niche programming focus. Like, what is your show about? After that, you will distribute 2 skill points among the core skills, being mind. I put Mindy, but mind, mouth, soul, and body. The next is you'll distribute the skill points from your programming focus, which will go after immediately after this. It's just kind of an umbrella category of like what your programming focus is and a couple bonuses it gives you. After that, you're going to define connections / pick a special gadget. Ryan, I had a question for you. That is define connections or pick a special gadget, right?
No. I did question this
Okay.
too, and then figured it out later. There are some parts of this that are so like kind of brief in the writing. It is define connections, and there are only connections in the variety and local talk hosts.
Mm-hmm.
So they are the only ones
yes.
to get connections.
Yes.
And pick a special gadget is only for the special interest host. It's just the
cool.
kind of it's basically just like the class you pick that is only for those kind of like 3 hosts get that kind of that number in the selection.
Okay, cool. That makes a lot of sense. After that, you're gonna pick your day job because you just have a public access show. You're not living off this thing, so you got a mundane day job. That guy dressed as a vampire, he runs a fucking coffee shop. He's still dressed as a vampire, but I really enjoy that. By the way,
it's so good. This is a super side thing. When I was going back to school for the job that I currently have, I had to take a math class. And it was literally just math for the job that I have. My teacher, his day job was math teacher and tennis pro.
Oh.
But what he was an Elvis impersonator. And he never really turned it off. So he was dressed like jeans.
He was always in,
but he was just always kind of Elvis. Like, yeah. So I went like day 1, met him, and was like, no, fuck this. And literally the next time I went to class was the final, which was like 70% of your grade. So I was like, I know I can just not do the rest of it, and if I pass the final, like I'll just pass the class. So I went to that class twice because I was like, I'm busy. I'm working a full-time job. I'm taking like 4 other classes for this. I'm doing night school while doing everything. I'm not gonna come to fucking a math class with a fucking Elvis impersonator. Like, fuck this. But this reminded me of that so much.
If I had a math teacher as an Elvis impersonator, I'd be at every fucking class.
He wasn't a good one. He wasn't. It was.
That sucks. Yeah. I'd love to have like Elvis competently teach me calculus. Yeah. Like that sounds super enjoyable. But yeah, being bad at that sucks.
Yeah.
Anyway. Next step after picking your day job is you got to roll your money. You start with 1d6 times $10. Potentially not a lot of money, no matter what, really. Um, After that, you're going to pick 3 inventory items, just 3 things that you own that might be useful. Or all together, that should cost under $100. You live on Earth, you understand how Earth money works. Change it to your local currency if you're somewhere else. And then you keep one of those things on you. So one of those, you start with one of those things on you. The other ones are stored away somewhere. Probably not in your car because you work at a coffee shop and run a public access. So I assume you would take the bus, but they're somewhere. After that, you're going to come up with a supernatural ability. And finally, you'll record your 6 hope points. Everyone starts with 6. Next section we're going to get into is the programming lineup. And this is the umbrella category for what your show is. It gives you some skill points. It might give you a special gadget. It might give you a connection. They're a little asymmetrical, but they all at least give you like a couple skill points.
And that's the thing that I loved most about them is they are all really asymmetrical. Like, it's not like you get 2 things and a this. Like,
no,
I really loved it a lot.
Like, we'll go over. I have one example on page 7, the monster movies. Obviously, that's the one that, like, I'm a big fan of Mystery Science Theater. So I love the idea of like having a show where you watch like old like schlock and like make fun of it or like enjoy it, you know, for what it is. So I'll read the monster movie. This is the programming lineup. This is what your show would be. Under a midnight moon, you have resurrected long forgotten schlock for the next generation. You start with a mind point of 1, so that's starting. So when you assign your 2 other points, you can still assign 1 more in the mind. On this one's got some interesting abilities. On this one, on a successful mind check, you receive vivid flashes of arcane, occult, and or scientific knowledge. Hilarious. And then the final ability is you may attempt 2d6 to perform a basic sleight of hand illusions and lockpicking. A 4, 5, or 6 is a success.
Sick. That's dope.
I was like, that's a great one. They're all really good. They're all different. I do love like the fitness one doesn't give you anything except you start with 3 points in body, which is a lot.
That's a lot to start with. Like you could put your other 2 points in body and have 5 body points.
You could have 5
to start and just be literally like the town strongman who's just like bad at everything fucking else. But yeah, I love that there is absolutely no commonality between any of them. Like every single one is a little bit different. Like, you know, the one that you just said gives you a cool ability. The spirituality one gives you a cool ability. But as we were talking about at the other one, some of them just give you connection. Some of them give you that like special gadget thing, which is really cool. The special interest one, just gives you the access to the special gadget, which is dope. So
I love this like ad that's just a child, but is obviously a child vampire. Lord Blood's Crypt of Cool.
Yeah.
You know,
it's so funny. There's another a big Lord Blood's ad later on too.
After that we have the WPA TV 13 end of week lineup, which is just like
dude.
It's a funny schedule for the last 3 days of the week.
I'm just saying, if this existed, this is all I would watch.
I would watch it every
week.
What is Uncle Larry's basement freak out? You know, who the fuck knows? I gotta tune in to find out.
Bro, taxidermy for children every Saturday at 10. Every Saturday at 10, I'm watching taxidermy for children. Bro, some of these other ones, Chainsaw Talk. And I also do love that there is like very clearly like once it starts to get late at night, they get the late at night ones. Like Lord Blood's Crypt of Cool is what Saturday nights from like 10 to midnight.
10 to midnight, yeah.
But Sister Martha's Love Dungeon or the I Hate People Talk and Call In.
Inappropriate Puppets is at midnight on Friday.
Dude, it's so fucking good.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
All of these are so good. That's Your Opinion. Local politics. That's your opinion. Like, it's so good.
So dumb.
Bro, even like even the Sunday morning mass for shut-ins cracks me the fuck up. Or Blacksmith Barbara and her mighty forge. Like this is so fucking
This
fun,
is
dude.
great. It's also a good example of like what to name your shows when you're making your
Yeah.
character. It goes well here because like you're going to be in this mindset of like what's my show called, and you have a bunch of examples of just ridiculous titles, but very like evocative titles. You kind of like
Yeah.
want to engage with them, you know?
Oh, bro, knifing with Norman.
Like what the fuck is he? Is he making
But
knives? Is he
it's
putting them in things?
It's KNOR, just like KNIF. Knifing with Norman, bro. If it was later at night, it would be even like imagine knifing with Norman, but it's at like 10 p.m. on Saturday. You're like, whoa, that got weirder. Versus like 6 in the afternoon.
Yeah,
Anyway,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. So this is a great. I love this right here. This is a good thing to have right here too. Next, we're
yeah.
moving on to supernatural abilities. Brian kind of touched on. There's not a lot more to expand. If you roll all sixes, you get a point to invest in your supernatural ability, and they are like incredible. They're mostly minor things. Like you can do things with them, and it specifically says they should be impressive to like regular people. But you're not like it's not like earth shattering powers. You know, like you if you have teleconnects, you can pull something small to your hand, and like that's really impressive. But you're not moving the car. You know.
Right. Yeah, yeah. Unless you're leveling up like crazy. I do like this one it ad at the bottom though for X Tech
Oh
because
yeah.
like there is a lot of like again like diegetic shit in
You
here
want to
and
earn
like
some fast cash? You want to be you want to be a medical test subject?
yeah. Thank you X Tech is like a whole zine that talks about X Tech. We skipped a little bit of the lore stuff in the beginning. We skipped it entirely.
Yeah.
Before we jump to the next section, we'll touch on the lore a little bit more whenever you're done with the character generation.
Yeah. There's not a lot left. After that, we have the section on connections, and this is a thing given to you by your background. And basically, it's just there's different types of important people you would know and different types of things they can help you with. This just gives you kind of an example list. No need to deep dive that. Um, Next is leveling up, which Ryan also pretty much touched on. The one thing I do like about leveling up that Ryan did not touch on is the learning from your greatest failures, the challenge rule.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Basically, if you have like bombed out on a task recently, like climbing a thing or whatever, you can take that as a challenge. Like pick a thing, and every time you attempt to do that thing again, you get one extra die into your dice pool, which I think is cool. I always
Yeah.
love like your mistakes making you, you know, better. I think what game does
Troika.
it? Help me. What?
Doesn't Troika do like you can mark a point if you fail at something, and if you mark enough points, you can
I
get.
think so. That's not the one I was thinking. I'm thinking of the Western that was a Merkborg hack and isn't anymore, and I'm blanking on the name.
Oh, I had it in my head until you Frontier
Frontier
Scum.
Scum. Thank you,
Yeah,
Ryan. Yeah,
yeah.
Frontier Scum does a similar thing, but I liked failure being like a
Mhm.
drive for improvement. But yeah, I think this is a cool small way to do this.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then
I like that.
I think the last thing I have to talk about is hope points. Once again, another thing that Ryan already touched on. But yeah, you start with six. They're essentially your mental and physical HP. When you run out of them, you have to make a soul check. And on a success, you stabilize with 1 point of hope. And on a failure, it means cancellation. You go unconscious, maybe you die, or even worse, you're resignated to normalcy. You become a normie. What a fucking
A
nightmare
fucking
that.
normie. Ugh.
Yeah. I think that's it for my section. That was pretty much all I had.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. I so a little bit of the lore that I was flipping through early and I didn't see it right away, so my brain just like kind of jumped over it. Fairhaven being the core aspect of this game. Basically, where is it in here? Oh yeah, it was the letter from Joey Royale. I kind of jumped over it. Basically, what happened is at some point Fairhaven's dope, right? But it's very much like the like you know what like what's that fucking show that made D&D more popular with the kids that are like 50 now but they're still trying to dress them up like teenagers
I
with
don't
11 and
know.
shit, you know, on Netflix.
Oh, Stranger Things.
Yeah, so between like season 2 or season 3 or whatever where it was like nostalgic and then like the mall comes in or whatever, that's where this lives. That's where
Yeah.
this lives, where like the old cool shit is starting to fade into like the mall space and stuff. Anyway, so basically what happened is a full moon happened in the summer and everyone marveled at it because it was still there and it kept being there, but it never went away. And people thought it was cool for a while till they realized weird shit was happening now that this full moon is always there. And that's where all the weird stuff happens. That's when the host started having to save the town and stuff. That's when like X Tech is also there, which is basically like this like it's again kind of like fucking Stranger Things where there's that like weird science base kind of like in the town or whatever, like up on the hill behind the fence and shit like that. So that's Fairhaven, is this cool fun, or this little town on the verge of, you know, progress, with a full moon that won't go away. And I like the kind of X Tech, like that's the feds for small towns kind of bit for it too, but that's a little bit more the lore for the game.
We
What's
haven't
next?
said this, but this game is like incredibly Welcome to Night Vale coded. Like,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
it couldn't be any more. Oh, I didn't know if you were familiar with Welcome to Night Vale. It's really cool that you are. So
I'm like, I know of it more than really I could tell you too much about it.
Okay. I've listened. I haven't read any of the books, but I have listened to hours of the podcast. So
Absurdist supernatural fiction podcast created by Joseph Fink and Jeffrey Cranor. I'll have to listen to the podcast.
yeah, the podcast is a public access news show. Oh, why is the sound back on? Is a public access news show about this weird, absurd small town that's like a little existential dread and also like jokes about government and like capitalism's failures. It's really amazing,
Yeah.
honestly.
Well, then this game is very much Welcome to Night Vale.
It is very much that, yeah.
That's sick. All right, so hopping into likes and dislikes. I will start with the dislikes. We'll get into it more in layout. The structure of the book, I don't like it. Well, again, we'll touch on a little bit more in layout, but it literally really is just like a couple of these zines, just wrapped in a hardback cover. And I wish a little bit more had been put into make it more of like a book. But again, I'll talk about that more in depth in the usability and layout sections later. What about you? What are your dislikes?
It's pretty much the same thing. I feel like when I get later in the book, I start being like, what are these sections? You know, like I think there's a couple that don't have incredibly clear headers, or I feel like
there's no headers, like
or no headers at all.
Yeah.
And so like, you know, the front part of the book, I'm like, it's pretty solid. I know where we are. And then I get lost very quickly past that. And there's a lot of really cool stuff in here. But after reading a bunch, I was like, okay, I know what this section's for. But that.
Yeah, it's really like I said, it's not very well delineated. My likes, it's really weird and doesn't give a single fuck, and I genuinely like, I love it. This is what I think is currently missing in the TTRPG space, and I will say that like I have a whole rant about marketing and capitalism and the complete total lack of innovation since like mid to late 2022, when TTRPGs really slid hard into marketing and capitalism. But the one small silver lining of COVID was a lot of people were pent up and said, fuck it, I have this idea and I'm gonna fucking make it because I got time. And we got so many fucking awesome games from that period, and that's what I call the post-COVID indie game boom. And this game is one of them. They started writing it during COVID, came out in whenever I said it did early, and it's so fucking good, and it's so fucking weird, and so many games right now really lean into profitability over like weird cool shit. And this game leans so hard into the weird cool shit, and I love it. I wish games would take themselves less seriously, because the ones that do, in my opinion, are just more fun and better. Like, you can tell that they had a fuckload of fun writing this and playtesting it, and I can tell a bunch of people did not have a lot of fun while they were like, you know, beta testing or what's it called when you put a bunch of people in a room to test different versions of something, like screenings,
something, that's for sure.
You know what I'm talking about.
I do.
But I just feel like, you know, you can tell when shit's written to make money and when shit's written because it's fun and cool. And this game is very much written to be fun and fucking cool. And I hope they're also making money off of it. But that's what I love about it. It's fucking weird and goofy, and it very much an in-joke on itself, and I love it.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. What about you?
I wrote as my notes, weirdo fever dream, incredibly refreshing to see a game just be so genuine and odd. Um, and also I thought the Psi Powers mini game is like a really fun, like real world activity addition to this game. I mean, overall, I love the vibe and like what you said about the game. It's just so unapologetically weird and is like genuine in doing so. You know, it doesn't feel like a thing that was like made to be weird. You know, like it
Yeah.
feels very genuine.
Yeah. Yeah. Big fan. It's fucking goofy and I love it. Again, I mean, um, the signed picture of Rev Joey Royale. I'm on. I am. I've never met this person. But they seem cool, and I'm extraordinarily unsurprised that this is what they look like. Um, I'm so glad as well. With him wearing like a velvet sports coat. That 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 this is the game. But yeah, so getting into the metric. So for those that don't know what the fuck it is we do here on the show, we do quantify our terrible opinions with metrics. Different for games versus zines, or bigger games versus smaller games. With bigger games, we do 5 metrics. With smaller games, we do 3. We do give a score at the end. But at this point in the show, since we kind of reformatted, we do all of the metrics that we cover for any of them, and then just pick the 5 or 3 based on it. Obviously, this is a book, because it's a whole fucking book. I have it in my hand. It's hardcover. It's 110 pages. Even though the rules are only a small part of it, it's a whole ass book. If we were just doing the little zine, obviously it would be a zine, but we'll do 5. But we cover 6 metrics, and then like I said, 5 we give scores to for books and 3 for zine. So it's gonna be art and layout, usability, rule set, originality, value, and vibes. So starting off with the art and layout, cover slaps,
Yeah,
really good.
absolutely.
Yeah. We'll zoom back down to the page level for that. It's really cool. I love the again, the kind of like the diegetic ads throughout the entire game. There's the, like, for example, like page 12. Like, I remember in high school we had like a coupon, like, paper thing that
I
like
remember
our
those.
high school
Yeah.
put out or whatever. Like, you got 6 tacos at Taco Bell for like $1 each or some shit. Like, that's exactly what this reminds me of. There's another one later, like I said, that's like the whole page. Here it is on page 21. It's the full page Crypt of Cool ad. I love the shit there. It's fucking great. And what we didn't talk about kind of all the way through are these like creatures that keep popping up, with given names that are like kind of like giving you the weird kind of through the static bits. Like this one
Yeah.
says, it will be an arduous cycle. The 13th channel is a bridge. You will not be psychically harmed if the bridge is maintained. That's sick. I love that. I wish they use these a little bit more
Yeah.
effectively in separating sections, because I think that might have been the intent. Um,
That would be a
but
good idea.
as far as the art and layout goes, like, it's very, again, it's very diegetic. It feels like a bit of an in-world item, especially with the fonts and the ads and everything. What about you?
Yeah, I didn't really have a lot to add to this section. One thing I do love in this game is just very odd, is like not very odd in this game, but that I like it, is the inside cover pages that aren't in the PDF, but they're like this really pretty, like wallpaper-esque, you know?
They're gorgeous. Yeah. Again, we gotta color correct your shit sometime.
My color is way the fuck off. What the fuck?
Yeah. For those that can see, my color is correct.
Yeah, Ryan's color is correct.
They're gorgeous. Yeah, good choice.
Yeah.
We'll
whatever.
fix it another time. Yeah.
It's funny how red it is.
Yeah.
No wonder it looks so rosy.
What did you hold up the other day where I was like, that's not what this looks
I don't
like?
remember, but there was something else that I'm like, that's incorrect. Yeah, I mean, I think like I said, I love the little ads, love the diegetic aspect of this. I mean, mostly where it's just gonna fall off for me is, again, like, you know, the layout's a little something. So
yeah, so I mean, as far as visual layout of the book, it's super readable.
It is super readable.
Yeah, as far as that. Now, moving into usability,
yeah,
this is
usability
where I think it's going to take a
yeah.
huge knock, right? So I got a fat fucking note section for this. So
yeah, your note section was so big that I didn't I was like, I have nothing to add except one thing.
You literally
So
wrote, I don't have a lot to add here. Yeah, so there are no hyperlinks, there are no bookmarks, there's no table of contents, there's no distinct separation of sections. It really is just 4 or 5 of these zines slapped together into more of like a collection wrapped in a hardback cover, with a few more pictures. I think there is a section that has more pictures on it in this versus the zine. It's on page it's the Fairhaven planning and zoning page 15 and 16. I think the 4 pictures to the side aren't in the original zine, but they are in this. Great, adding some pictures. But aside from adding in a couple of a bit of extra content, it like you can actually pull out like the parts from Tales from Fairhaven. You can pull out all the station manager's guide stuff. Again, like the entire size zine, cover and all, is just stuck in here.
yeah,
So again, the whole book feels more like a hardback collection than it does a cohesive kind of role playing game book. So I really wish they maybe like pushed a little bit more into making it a more cohesive book. Like maybe
yeah.
separate the adventures out, maybe separate the supplemental stuff out a little bit more. Like you said, like the front's a little bit more structured, but that's because I think the zines in the front were more structured.
Makes
Um,
sense.
so, but 110 pages and literally not even having the table of contents is just crazy.
Yeah, a
Uh,
little rough.
yeah. So that's kind of like the big. I think the thing that's going to get the biggest knock on this is it doesn't feel like a cohesive book beginning to end. It just feels like a collection of content, which is not very easy to navigate. And then you had something to add.
Yeah, there in the book, in the actual physical book, there is in fact a silk ribbon,
Yeah.
which I appreciated because I flipped back and forth a couple times. And that's a good organization tool. Does it make up for not having a table of contents? Probably not, but
But
it's still nice.
it's a very pretty ribbon. It's like a
It
mint
is.
green color. Um and always love a good ribbon. I mean the hardback itself is very nice. It's a very well done book.
Yeah, it
Um
really is actually. Yeah.
it's very pretty. Corners are really sharp and hard. So the
Yeah.
ribbon is really nice. The end papers are this is well printed wherever they decided to print it. It is a nice hardback. Again, I wish it was a little bit easier to navigate. That would have been dope, but we will take what we can get. But that's usability. Like I said, probably going to get the biggest knocks when we hit the scores because it's not very usable.
Yeah.
Rule set. So at its core, it is a very basic dice pool system. We talked about that. But I do like the stuff that they add to it to spice it up and make it its own. Like you said, the challenges when leveling up,
Hmm.
I think makes it really interesting. Having the 1s and 6s, like the 6s giving you the supernatural abilities, the 1s making you lose hope points. I actually really like the way combat works. Literally just being like 1 through 3. Like if you the thing is if you roll to hit and succeed, like it's so easy to just be like, all right, if you roll 5 or 6 or whatever, you're gonna roll again, and either do 1 or 2, boom, move on.
Yeah.
Super fucking easy. Like I like how clean it is. I don't think it's a knock to say that it's like pretty simple. I think that it is the kind of system we talk about with more rules like games where it is enough for what you need and then gets the fuck out of the way to let you just play the game. So I think it's a perfect amount of system for this game. And for the dice pool system, I do think they add a lot of stuff in to really make it interesting. And even the quote unquote classes, the
Right.
asymmetry of those, I think are so fucking good. So I really like it. Again, it's light,
Yeah.
but I think it's interesting. I dig it. What are you?
Yeah, I think it's good. I think it works incredibly well. I agree. I think it really gets out of the way of you playing this game because this game is less about the mechanics and more about like the weirdo stories that you're creating as these public access hosts in this odd little town.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, I like the challenge mechanics. That was one thing I made note of, and I enjoy this. I also like. I want to play it. And I also think it'd be fun to make up your own programming lineup, and it wouldn't be hard to do.
Yeah.
Um, and I like the openness of it. But yeah, it's a fun, light little game.
Well, I think it's really interesting if you have like 4 or 5 people playing because yeah, they literally have 24 hours a day for 3 days. I don't know if
Yeah.
public access really has that much, but like even if you just have 5 people and be like, Saturdays is public access days. You guys each get a TV block.
Yeah.
Starting at like 10 and ending at like 5 or 6 or whatever. Starting at noon and ending at 6. You could easily just write that up. Which is really cool. All right, that's rule set. Originality. I mean, obviously we just talked about the rule system. System wise, it's a dice pool system. It's got some cool stuff, but everything else, I think is fucking awesome. Like even just Weird Heroes of Public Access, that tells you the whole game. Before I ever cracked the cover, but I had heard the title of it, I knew exactly what this game was.
Yeah.
And when I actually cracked the cover, it gave me exactly what I wanted and about 100 times more. And it's incredible. Like this is literally like schlock, like nostalgia schlock hit me right in the fucking face with it so hard. And I love it. And I do think it's incredibly weird and original and interesting. Big fan. Make more games like this.
Yeah, I super agree. I think, what was I going to say? I had something here and I totally blanked on it. It wasn't in my notes. I just thought about it, but I guess it's gone forever. Yeah, I think that this is a great concept. Oh, I was gonna say that like weird public access shows are what modern capitalism has taken away from us. Because they really can't be done now at this point. They're impossible to support.
People streaming on Twitch. That's all you would do. That's where you find this stuff now.
But it's just there's less of the good stuff and more of just
Yes, I will say though, there's a lot of bullshit. There's a lot of people just like sitting in front of a camera. There's some really fucking cool weird shit. If you really dig deep and go hard on Twitch, you can find some really cool, fun, weird shit. But yes, I completely like this would not be possible. Like you would basically
But yeah, I don't think there's it's genuinely obviously not another game I can reference being like, well, now when you play weird public access TV show hosts, because there's not one. I think that's great,
Yeah. It does suck that like literally it's just gone. It's just gone.
Yeah.
You can never have like a Bob Ross again. Like you literally just couldn't. And that's sad. But
honestly, shout out Bob Ross.
Yeah.
That guy was a fucking war vet.
You can watch Bob Ross 24/7 on Twitch, right?
I did actually know that. Yes.
I often just throw on Bob Ross. There's a retro anime one that's just on, and then The Whitest Kid You Know has a 24-hour one. And between those, like
really,
yeah, WKUK TV on Twitch. Just watch Whitest Kid You Know 24 hours a day.
Dude, I am super okay with that. What the fuck?
Yeah, I am. So next is value. So value-wise, the hardback is normally $35 on EF. It is on sale right now for $28, which I think is a good deal. $35, yeah, a little bit pricey, but it's Exalted. It doesn't say it comes with the PDF on Exalted Funeral, though, when usually it does. I think it probably should or would, because if you get it from, I believe it was Goodman Games was also selling it for the exact same price that came with the PDF. So it would be weird if the hardback of this did not come with the PDF on Exalted, but it usually says when it does, and it doesn't say that it does. So I'm not sure. And if you get it PDF by itself, it is $20 on Drive to RPG, which is fine. I think $20 for the PDF is fine. I think $35 for the hardback might be a little bit pricey. But
I think it's mostly okay.
Yeah, it's fine. It's about industry standard at this point. But my feeling on it is the PDF should either be free and make your money on the print, or the print should be the cost of the print plus what you made for the PDF. So make the PDF more expensive and the print cheaper, or make the print more expensive and the PDF free. One way, shape, or form. It's when they both fall in the middle that it is just kind of like whatever. But that's about standard. We'll get to that in the scoring. And then vibes through the fucking roof.
Definitely.
Again, yeah, this is the weird stuff that the indie scene used to make and should start making again. Please make more weird games. Please make more games because you think it's cool and fun and not because they're profitable. Seriously, like this we need more of this. What about you?
Yeah, I do miss like this era. I mean, it's kind of from that era of games that like the less commercially marketed, like the less drive to be like a $20,000-$30,000 Kickstarter project, and more like I put up on my Kickstarter goal was $3,000. I just want to print this weird little thing I made,
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely a shift, and I understand. I mean, again, like everyone has got to make money. You know, capitalism is crushing all of our souls.
Yes.
But I do miss when people made weird shit because it was what just needed to come out of them versus people making another thing for this system that they know will sell. You know, it is what it is.
It is what
Uh
it is.
it is what it is. Getting over to the
Mhm.
review scores. So for books, from the 6 metrics that we just talked through, we give a number between 1 through 10 on 5 of them. Art and layout, usability, rule set, originality, and value. The total score will be listed. It doesn't really fucking matter. If you don't give a shit about originality, that score doesn't really matter, does it? Art and layout. Remember that thing that we had
Yeah.
that was like we should look at that again when we're scoring a bunch of this stuff, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I thought about that thing today, actually.
Yeah, so let's look at that thing and let's talk about this. Where is that? Right there. All right, I have the thing. So art and layout, what are your thoughts?
I like it. I think it's it's above average. I love the in-universe like stuff. I love the diegetic like ads and art and stuff. I think it's incredibly readable layout, and yeah, I have no major like gripes other than like some usability stuff. Really.
Yeah, which
What do,
which
what
we'll
do you
score next.
what do
Yeah.
you think?
So just on art and layout, I personally think that the in the diegetic shit in the in world stuff, you know, when
Hmm.
people use big words to sound smart, they sound stupid in my
As we
opinion.
often
So
do.
the diege we just say like and fuck a lot. I'll tell you the two most popular words on our podcast are like and fuck. When I did a control F for the word like on one of our transcripts, it made me want to cut my own throat in game. Um, but I like it. I personally think it's good to really good. Just for the art and layout. Usability,
Yeah.
we'll talk about in a second. But for
Yeah.
art and layout, the diegetic, which means the in-world stuff, that's where that rant went. The in-world stuff, the stuff that is in the world of Fairhaven, kind of looking in the book. I dig it. I think it really. We talk about a lot that the art should feed the game, should feed the art, should feed the game, and this one does
Yeah.
it really, really well. So, what do you think? Good, really good. What are your thoughts?
I'm somewhere between good and really good.
Let's go really good on this because I feel like we're gonna be mean to it in usability. So,
That's fine. I'm good on this being really good.
yeah, and I do think the cover does slap pretty hard. Um, usability,
Yeah, it really
bro,
does. The cover, if I'd seen this book wrapped in plastic on a shelf and
yeah,
that cover, I would get it. So,
bro. Not even the side when
yeah,
they
the
put
spine
like the
too.
rainbow on the side, even with like the 13 Fairhaven like that. Oh yes, yes. Um, usability. This one's gonna be rough. Again, we talked
Yeah.
about it. The physical book itself is beautiful. I think they did a good job. The ribbon's great. The inside, again, does not feel like a cohesive tabletop role playing game book. It feels like a
Mhm, mhm.
collection of zines wrapped in a hardcover, and that does not contribute to usability. If like it would be, and without a table of contents, much less the hyperlinks and the bookmarks, like not having a table of contents, a 110-page book is crazy.
Yeah, that's pretty
Um,
brutal, honestly.
I can't. So we 5 is bang average. 5 means we don't have really anything good or bad to say about it. Unfortunately for usability, there's very little redeeming qualities of this
Yeah,
book.
it's
For
below average, I would say.
I would say it's probably below average as far as usability go. There's been a while since we found a book that really had no tools whatsoever to help you navigate it, and there's not a
Yeah.
outside of the physical ribbon, which I did use. Um, there's no easy way to navigate this book besides taking notes on what page you have to look stuff up on. So yeah, I would say that this is probably a below average as far as the usability of this specific book goes. Um, yeah,
I'm
which is kind
forced
of
to
rough.
agree. Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, which really sucks because like otherwise, again, we'll get that. So rule set, we talked about it. Dice pool system, pretty light, but what
Yeah.
they do add to that kind of core system, I think, is really fun and really clever and really interesting and really fits into the system. So what are your thoughts?
I think it's good. I mean, I that's where I'm at. I think it works really well for what it is. There's no mechanics that really blow me away or like incredibly unique, but I think it's good.
See, I'm gonna disagree with you on that. I'm gonna say it's at least really good, and I
Okay.
will. So my counterpoint is psionics.
Right. Damn,
That
that's
is
a
part
good
of the rules.
counterpoint.
That
Yeah,
is
you're
part of the
right.
rules.
Okay, you're fine. You're right.
Um, and we didn't dig too deep in it, but even the way that the psionics feed into the adventures, because like if you have a psychic catastrophe or you have like a static
Right.
interference, I think is a huge part of it. Like, and the asymmetry of the classes, I think really helps it a lot too. If it literally was just like add 1 point to this, here's 2 abilities, here's like 1 bonus thing you get. If they were all like these are 4 things you get, I would be like that's kind of meh. But the fact that they really balanced the asymmetry of it, I think feeds into a little bit. So I would say it's at least really good.
I yeah, you're right. It's really
Is
good.
it is it at least really good? Or are we gonna go
I
or
think
is
it
that
I
is that
think
is that your
we're good to do at least really good.
okay? And that's
It
your
is
ceiling for
light. I
that?
do want for something like this. I would want something that kind of gets out of the way. So yeah,
Yeah. So is really good your ceiling on that?
yes.
All right. Originality.
I mean, it's wholly original concept wise. I mean, I know the rule set's a dice pool, but like the concept is great. You know.
Yeah. So where are we at with that? I mean, excellent, amazing. Where are we at?
I'm a great to excellent. You know.
I think I'm an easy excellent on this.
Okay, easy excellent. There we
I
go.
think I'm an easy excellent. So we're gonna give a 9 in originality. I honestly think that that's where it really really shines.
Yeah.
We're not scoring vibes because we don't do vibes are more for zines. But I will say, if we were, it would be a 9 or 10 for vibes.
Yeah,
Easy,
totally.
easy. Value. So value wise, outside of the book, which I think the hardback for me is fine. Is fine. It's average price. I don't expect if it was $5 cheaper, I would be happy. If it was $5 more expensive, I would be sad. I think it fits fine where it's at. But I will say, as far as because value is bang for your buck, it's not just cost. I will say, this is not all that there is. And I'm holding up a stack
Here's a
of like
stack.
11 zines. There's more that I don't think have made it to print. There's like 2 more that are in print that I like can't find. We're talking there's like 15 to 20 zines of additional content, adventures, supplements, extra stuff. The prices on these are pretty expensive. I think the PDFs are like $7 or something like that. I snagged every single one that I could find and did not spend that much money. I think when we factor in one of the things we talk about with value a lot is bang for your buck. What more is out there to play the game with? My gosh, when's the last time you saw a game that had this many
That's an
extra fucking
amazing
scenes?
point as far as
Yeah,
value goes. I think that's a really good point. And the fact that you can still obtain them
yeah,
is a massive deal because a lot of stuff that we go over sometimes you're like, yeah, there's like 5 other zines for this thing, but you can't fucking get them anymore. But the fact that you can still
yeah.
obtain those is great.
But yeah, Visitors to Fairhaven is New Adventures. Tales from Fairhaven is New Adventures. The Looking for Magic I know is in there, but that's a Psy Magic. Fairhaven Beings. Godspeed You Little Bastards. Which is more adventures and stuff and content for it. So like, I mean, there's so much. The Life, Death, and Non-Death of Sherman Glimp, which is actually I believe that one is almost wholly in the new book. But there's so many. Oh, bro. And if you want to get a little bit deeper with it, the June Manifestation zine is so fucking cool. Like, if you
Okay.
want to go a little bit more horror based, like these
Oh.
are the June manifestations. You'll
Oh, okay. I see. Okay.
yeah. So being able to like kind of dig in and use those a little bit is really fucking dope. So I would say, oh, and plus you can also get like a GM screen and shit. Not that like the system needs it that much, but a GM screen does exist for the game,
That's
and
fun.
it's really fucking cool because
Oh,
it looks
cool.
like a
Yeah.
TV with like the things on the side. So I think value is definitely above average, at least. I think that just the amount of stuff that you're able to use to play the game on top of all the stuff that comes in the game, because it's not well separated, but there's like fucking 20 plus adventures in the game, bro. Like,
Yeah.
there's so much stuff to play just like right out of the box. You got months of content literally just in that $35.
Well, just that, I'm feeling really good about the value then, you know? That really
Yeah.
bumps it up from bang average.
Yeah, I think really good. I think really good is good for that. So, we got art and layout at a 7, usability at a 4. Unfortunately, that's where it's going to take the hit. Rule set is 7, originality a 9, and value a 7. So that's 21 plus 13, and that's a 34. Which,
Woo!
man, that's a little bit low as far as
Yeah.
total number. And that's
The
lower
usability
than
hurt
this.
it.
That's the
So,
usability, man. Like
yeah.
I'd say that's lower than this feels. And like I
Yeah.
said, it's just usability. If there was just a little bit more, um, like honestly, if there was a table of contents and maybe just some like headers, maybe using the ads as more
Mm,
defined headers than maybe just the manifestations, and really
that's a
letting
good
you know a little
idea.
bit more like this is just an adventure, this is that. That number would shoot up really, really quickly. But like you said, like once you get to the back half of the book, half the time you're like, what am I even fucking looking at?
Yeah,
Like,
definitely. I mean,
and
that's exactly what my experience was.
yeah,
So,
and everything was so weird. I'm like, is this an adventure? And you're like, oh yes, it is an adventure, but it'll take you a little bit of time to get there. So, which is fine to a point. I think it passes the point though. I think it crosses the line into a lack of usability doing that.
I agree.
Um, so that is Weird Heroes public access, the role playing game from Joey Royale. I highly recommend it. This is one that I really, really fucking hope we get onto the show. I want to play this super fucking bad. It's
I would
weird. I want
definitely
to play
play
with
this.
weird people that are going to dig deep. Like I already am thinking about like what host I would want to be. Um, it's been a while. I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to say that because I remember the games we've done, but like I want to play this one real fucking bad. So shout out Joy Royale. Go snag this book. It's on sale right now. Exalted Funeral for like 20 something bucks.
Nice.
Worth it. Oh, you can also find Get Haunted Industries on Etsy, where they still have some of the Kickstarter stuff, and that's where I got a lot of the stuff, like the dice.
They have an Etsy page. It's so funny.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think that's it. That's us.
That's
The
us.
show.
We're us.
We are us. What was
Good
the name?
job.
Hell is us. You know.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the show. We're out. Have a good day. Bye.
Bye.